Hi guys, this is a day in the life of a Maine Coon breeder. So my morning starts off by letting the girls out of their room. They do have to be closed off throughout the night because they are a little bit obnoxious and wake me up multiple times a night. Then I get started on their breakfast. Today they're having leftover canned food from the day before. I prioritize grain-free, high-protein foods with my cats, and I try to only buy foods that closely mimic a cat's natural diet. Unfortunately, most dry food and a lot of other food options out there are too high in carbs for a cat to properly digest. My cats have a pretty big rotation with their food, and they do eat a lot of different things, including raw food. I found that with raw, their stools are the least smelly and easiest to clean, so I try to get them to eat as much as they would take. But currently they are on a strike on their raw food. They have been mainly wanting Fancy Feast classic pate, but fun fact, the classic pate version is actually a very healthy, budget-friendly option for your cats. It has a dry matter protein of 53% and only around 2% carbs, which is a very similar profile to the natural diet of a cat. I always add extra water to their food because it's a very easy way to increase your cat's hydration. This is especially important for boys to help avoid UTIs. And I also add this organic kelp to help with tartar buildup in their teeth and just for overall digestion as well. This is the girls eating their food, and now it's time to take the boys' food over to them. They spend the night in their catios. This is because intact males spray their urine to mark their territory, so you do have to have separate housing for them. They do enjoy their catios and view it as their little sanctuary, and they spend the night and half the day in here, and then they get to come inside for the other half of the day with their stud diapers on. They do make quite a bit of mess throughout the night, as you can see, and all of this will be cleaned up after I'm done cleaning inside. And honey always gets jealous when I go outside. She always wants to come with me, but I know, sweetie. Okay. Then it's time to tackle cleaning the girls' room. As you can see, there's lots of fur and a big mess with the litter box. I start off by vacuuming, and it does look like they shed a lot by all the fur lying around, but it's mainly because the girls do play fight a lot and they do lose more fur than they normally would in the process. They are super messy with their litter and they love to throw it around, so I don't know what's up with that, but it's kind of annoying. But I do spend a good chunk of my time just cleaning loose litter pellets, and then I just go ahead and scoop their litter. The litter method I use has been very nice and budget friendly, and it smells really nice. I use pine pellets, and they actually turn into sawdust when wet, so instead of scooping their clumped urine out, you just maneuver the sawdust through the holes of the bottom of the litter. And it is a natural material, so you can just throw it in the compost bin. Then I got really annoyed of that outfit because all the fur was sticking to those leggings. So here's my outfit change. Today was the day that I need to completely scrub and hose down their litter boxes. I do this about once a week, and this is my drying method until one of them went flying. And of course, as soon as I put in new clean litter, one of the cats has to leave a little surprise for me. Moving on, I mop their floors and turn on the air purifier for the day. I also open the windows in that room. With so many intact cats in the house, you do have to work really hard to keep your house smelling nice. And air purifiers have definitely been a lifesaver for me. They are constantly running in each room of our house. Then I went to get the boys to bring them inside for a little, but Freddie decided to make a run for it, and then I just decided to let the boys hang out in the backyard for a bit first. I normally wouldn't recommend this for cat owners and especially pet owners, but there are a few reasons why I allow the boys to have supervised backyard time. One of those is that with them being intact cats that spray, they do get limited indoor time, and this is one way to offer them extra enrichment throughout the day. They also aren't the type of cats who have a tendency to wander off. They've never tried to climb a fence or tree, and they are pretty attached to me and don't like to go too far away from me. They also do have a recall, and we do have a bond where they listen to me like a dog would. So although I do always keep a close eye just in case, I do trust that they won't ever try to climb over the fence. Come here, buddy. Come here, boy. Good boy. Wait. Oh, you're so funny. Good boy. Come here. Freddy, come here, buddy. Good boy, Cobra. This method has worked really well for us. I love seeing how happy they are out here, and it's nice that I'm able to offer them this extra enrichment. My girl cats are not to be trusted with these same privileges since they are a little bit more wild. But Honey is always waiting by the door when we are out here trying to make her escape. Then it's time to bring the boys inside for a bit, so here's how they come when they're called. Come on guys, let's go. Cobra, you too, buddy. Cobra, come on. Cobra. Let's go, come on. Good boy. Honey did manage to run out, so here's me retrieving her. And then it's time to put the boys' diapers on. They are very used to this by now and they don't mind it. They do have actual diapers made for this reason, but I just like to use toddler diapers and I cut a hole in it for their tail. A lot of stud diapers are reusable and I like to just have something I can dispose of after one use because their urine smell is really difficult to get out of the cloth ones. Then I'm feeding Cobra his second breakfast because he's just an eating machine. He eats the most out of all my cats and it seems as if he's never satisfied. Then I see that Cobra wasn't getting along with Honey very well. Intact cats are very hormonal and sometimes they all get along very well and sometimes they don't. This morning Cobra seemed a little too aggressive for my liking, so I just decided to put the boys back outside until they can come back in the evening when the girls are in their room. Once the boys are back in their catios, I scoop their litter boxes and then it's time for lunch and they're eating the same thing they had in the morning. And later that afternoon, I let the boys have some more supervised backyard time. Freddie loves chasing our chickens. He never actually does anything to them and I can tell he's a little intimidated by them, but he still will run after one every now and then, and I just think it's so funny. Be a good boy, Freddie. Gotta be nice. Around 4 p.m. I usually bring the boys in and they stay inside until I go to bed. This time the cats were all getting along. For some reason the boys tend to be nicer in the afternoon and evening time. The girls get a daily prenatal vitamin, so I mix that up with their favorite treat because they won't take it otherwise. And Cobra is obsessed with the smell of these and is always trying to sneak one in. Later that evening I do brush the cat's teeth. I usually do this about every other day. It's probably my least favorite cat chore, but it's super important to make this a routine with your cats. Cats are very prone to dental disease as they age, and this is the best way to prevent that. I wrap my cats in a towel to hold them still, and although they don't like it, they don't fight me on it either. I also give them this treatment for healthy gums. Then I let the boys roll around in some catnip as a treat afterwards. I spent some time playing with them before they have to go back in their catios for the night. And once I'm ready to go to bed, I put the boys in their catios. They do spend probably about half the day in their catios, but they really don't mind it. They seem ready to go back in every night. I think they like having their own space and territory. I make sure I fill up their dry food. I also fed them wet food dinner before, but forgot to film that. I do leave dry food out at night for my cats since they are still growing. And then I also check up on the girls to make sure they have enough food and to say goodnight. And that is all for my day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.